This is Airrack. He has grown to 5 million subscribers faster than most YouTubers in history. And I visited Airrack's house to ask how the heck he did it, and he said things I've never heard on camera before. In this video, we'll cover 5 lessons and moments he shared during our interview, one of which is so mind-blowing that it basically confirms a conspiracy theory I've had this whole damn time, which is Airrack is the Elon Musk of YouTube. Trust me, I'll explain it here in a second. But first, the first lesson of how Airrack grew to 6 million subscribers in 2 years is that you gotta throw your backpack over the fence.
That one moment right there was like the flint and steel that started the whole freaking fire that's been the last year and a half of my life.
That moment came when Airrack had 1,500 subscribers. That's it. Jake and Logan Paul were in Miami for a boxing match, so Airrack decided to fly in and pose as a fake reporter to pitch Logan to collab with him. Airrack spent thousands of dollars to fly to Miami, get a hotel room, all with no guarantee that he'd actually meet Logan. But sometimes, as Amar from Yes Theory once said on Logan's very own podcast,
if you know you want to go this way and there's a big ass fence that's in front of you, throw your backpack, because now your only option is to actually get on the other side.
And when you're spending that much money, you're gonna be that much more motivated to get the job done. Which brings me to my next point. Create zero effort collabs. While Airrack basically ambushed Logan, he got much more strategic about how he collabed with big YouTubers when he still had very few himself. This video with David Dobrik that he made is a great example. He hired a bunch of Dobrik lookalikes to create this moment. Obviously, this was a great win for Airrack, but it also gave David free, zero effort content for his vlogs.
I'm gonna make it a layup for him. I'm gonna pay for his content for the day. We're gonna bring 100 people to his house, make it easy for him. He gets a video out of it, I get a video out of it. We're better friends because of it, you know? That's the way to think about it.
Airrack then used this approach again with Logan, and this time he took out a loan and paid $17,000.
Everybody knows about these couches that he spent all this money on. He's trying to get rid of them. And then I'm gonna be the guy, who's gonna buy these couches? So I'm gonna be the guy that does it. I literally just had the idea to go to California and buy the couches and just get a relationship.
Again, zero effort for Logan, but content for his vlogs. And after he bought those couches from Logan, Airrack began editing his video so they would go up at the same time.
On a plane back to Atlanta and staying up for 3 days straight, editing this video.
And it worked.
And his entire comment section on a video that got 8 million views was hire Airrack 2020. And then I gained 250,000 subs in a month, and then my life changes.
To put that in context, according to TubeBuddy, the average creator uploads 3,873 videos to cross the 1 million subscribe mark. And Airrack, he only had to upload 58 videos to get to 1 million subscribers. And collabs are a big reason why. Which brings me to my third point. Think like Harry Potter. Hear me out. Harry Potter is one of the most beloved series of all time. We have 7 books, 8 movies, and as bizarre as it may sound, Airrack approaches his content the same way. Consider this. Of his 128 uploads, 40 of Airrack's videos, or 31% of them, are part of a series. And by series, I mean videos that build on each other, like part 1, 2, and 3 of Airrack's couch series or yacht series. Or Airrack doubles down on formats that work, like spending $10,000 and then $100,000 on Facebook Marketplace. And from a story perspective, we're hooked because we love hearing what happens in part 2 and 3, especially after you watch part 1 of the yacht series, for example, where Airrack introduces the storyline.
So we're going to take this small yacht 200 miles off the coast of the United States, all the way to Mr. Beast's $700,000 island.
And YouTube's algorithm loves this as well because they're more likely to recommend videos that increase watch time because there's a higher chance that viewers will binge on part 1, 2, and 3 in a series versus standalone videos. And I know this sounds simple to extend a storyline across multiple videos, but most creators don't do this, which is basically like if J.K. Rowling would have stopped writing Harry Potter even after the first one did so well. And that brings me to my next point, which is basically my final point before we get to my Elon Musk conspiracy theory. But you gotta be the planet, not the moon. You see, Airrack collabed with huge stars, but he didn't get sucked into their orbit. And nowadays that's so hard because so many creators have their own version of a vlog squad. They want their cast of characters around them, like David Dobrik has Jonah, Zane, Jason, and Natalie. And most people don't realize, but Airrack could have easily been the third Paul brother in Jake and Logan's circles, which would have been nice, but nowhere near who Airrack is today. I mean, Jake even asked Airrack to move into the Team 10 house, but Airrack rejected the offer.
There's an interesting thing when you start getting around these bigger creators and people that have created just massive multimedia companies on the platform, you know? And it's like planets, right? Like you have, this is Jake Paul right here, you know? And I'm like a little pea at that time, like orbiting around the planet of Jake Paul. And if I'm not careful, I get absorbed by his gravitational pull into this machine right here, which stifles your ability to become one of these, like your own planet.
How many aspiring YouTubers do you know that would reject living in a house and working with one of the biggest YouTubers? And now Airrack is building his own gravitational pull instead of being a side character in someone else's world. Look no further than Phidias, who flew all the way from Cyprus just to meet Airrack.
I will not stop until I give this box to Airrack. He's one of the fastest growing YouTubers and he lives in LA, 7,314 miles away from my country, Cyprus. So I guess I'm going to the USA.
No.
You think people would fly across the world if you were a side character? There's no way. And by having these characters in his orbit like Phidias, Airrack is better able to create these Harry Potter-like series to the point where we've now seen Phidias in Airrack's videos over 20 times. We've seen him get married, shave his eyebrows, and essentially Phidias has become the Hermione to Airrack's Harry Potter. Mac is like Ron, and now Tyler and Jack, who are appearing in his videos, are kind of becoming Neville Longbottom and Ginny Weasley. And one thing you don't see, but he did mention during our interview, is that he talked about this secret group that he has called the Creative Allegiance. And this is a group of people who pitch him ideas, and if Airrack produces them, he gives them a part of that video's ad money using Stir's Splits product, which helps creators run their businesses. And I was lucky enough to be part of these Creative Allegiance meetings, and to my surprise, Airrack liked one of my pitches, so now I get paid out a tiny percentage of one of his videos through Stir, which is such a cool way to crowdsource creativity. And that brings me to my biggest point of all. You must Elon Muskify your channel. Hear me out. Airrack became a creator the same exact way Elon became an entrepreneur. Before Tesla, Elon started PayPal and used the money and experience from that to bankroll Tesla, so much so that Elon even went into debt to do it. Airrack's story is so similar because before YouTube, he talked about in our interview how he started a successful wedding business that gave him the experience and funds to start his channel.
Every weekend we would have like 12 weddings going on somewhere around the US. And so I would hire on a couple people basically just to manage logistics.
And just like Elon spent his last pennies from PayPal to start Tesla, Airrack spent his last pennies to fly to Miami, buy yachts and expensive couches to kickstart his content. And just like Elon now has many different ventures between SpaceX, Neuralink, The Boring Company, so does Airrack with his pizza sauce called Pizzafy, his merch line, his YouTube ping pong tournament, and now his education startup called Creator Now that he co-founded with his manager Zach as they help the next generation of creators grow. Make sure to subscribe and ring the notification bell so you stay tuned for the interview coming up with Airrack, as well as a ton of other content for creators like you. See you next time.